Hey there! Today I am walking around in my forest in the Upper Peninsula. The nearest town is Newberry, Michigan. It is a beautiful, hot fall day. It is over 80 degrees today. I am just came out to walk around and see what I could see. It's a little hot to be working outside, but I started this trail as kind of a cut through point, so we can get through our property easier. So there's a lot of down logs. You see that birch there. I started taking down some of these little trees. See some laying on the side here. And I'm just walking through here today, taking a look at the chaos. And when I say chaos, it's a lot like this. It's been logged a lot of years ago, at least over 10. You can see the slash piles, they call them, branches. You can see stumps from what they logged out of here. A lot of really nice growth though. I'm not sure how long ago this was, or if these were left, or if these grew since then. We do have plans to have a forester come in and give us a hand with figuring out what we have, how best to clean up this mess and make our forest strong and healthy. Now this tree back here, I know must have been left. This did not grow in 10 years. They left some really nice big trees around, and then we have all these we have maples and poplars, and there's like these little pine trees here. That one's really small, but over my head for sure. And then there's some that are like more of a medium, large size. So what we're trying to do here is essentially just get access to our woods. And these birch are really beautiful. They cut, a lot of times they grow in clumps like this, and you can see where they logged and took some, and then when you cut birch they just sprout right back up. So these ones, I'm guessing maybe they left them, I'm not sure. They're pretty good size, and then there's a bunch of little ones in the same bundle. There's a big stump they must have took back then. So I came through here a few days ago. I have a little handsaw, and I just kind of walk around, and these aren't very big. The ones I'm cutting, they're just a couple inches around mostly, or smaller. These little ones, and just trying to get an area to walk so we can get in here and see what we have. We have a lot of animals. We can definitely see game trails. This, I believe, was an old logging road potentially. We've noticed that where there's a lot of the birch coming up is where we can kind of see tire tracks in the ground, where they would have had their logging equipment coming through. And So there's a mix. So what I'm trying to do essentially right now is kind of do a thinning of trees. So for example, what do we have here? So we have a pine tree that thought it would be cool to grow sideways. What is going on here? I haven't seen this one. So here's a pine tree root that comes up and grows up into a tree. So this little pine tree decided that he wanted to grow, and it's not really worth much. I'd call it a junk one, because who wants a curved pine tree? So in this case, I would clear out this pine tree and give this maple some room to grow. And it looks, it's not a lot better. It's got like a dent. The sun is shining today. There's like a dent right there. So I don't know if that's even the best tree to save. There is some birch over here. There's another maple. But essentially what we're doing is trying to clear out the funny trees and keep the good trees. And basically in this area, which I haven't been here before, there's all these rocks in a pile, which is cool. They're piled up for us, but man, some of them are really big and we're not going to be able to move them. Man, that's a really good one over there. So in this area, there's some really good sized maples, which we wanted to keep maples, but boy, look at this tree. This is a beautiful tree. It's got the soft needles. These are soft. These are, they come in the bundles, or they're needle leaves or whatever. So there's 5 in a bundle. It has the stem. Sorry, that leaf was getting in there. It has the stem with the little stick on it, or the little bump on it. It has smooth bark. This is a really beautiful tree here. It is looking pretty straight until about there, and the top curve. So this would be my tree of choice, and I'm gonna have to clear out all of these maples around here. There's another pine tree over there that decided to go curvy. You see it? It's like coming up at a curve and coming up there. It's a good size, it's just curvy. This one is as well. Usually what happens is they start to grow when they're little, and then there's a branch on them or weight that makes them bend, and then they grow kind of sideways. So we want the straight ones. This tree has a bunch of bends in it. It's like a little dancing tree. It's like it's coming up and going up and curving every 6 inches. It's got a curve. It's a nice maple next to it. There's like just too many trees. This is like a really big pile of rocks. There's a ginormous rock under there. Here's the little rocks. And the neighbor, we talked to the neighbor, and they said this used to be like a field. So at one time, we think maybe there was livestock or cattle or something here. So maybe they piled all this up to make way for, the cattle or whatever. It seems kind of unbelievable that this was a field, because I can't even walk through here right now. This is thick thick area, but I have not seen these rocks, and I am an actual rock hound. I love to go to Lake Superior and look at rocks. And these are nothing fancy, but you never know what you're going to find. They have moss on them. Wow. This looks like a nice place that I can clean up. And I could come out here and sit and read a book someday. Maybe if I get... Look at this. Look how thick this moss is on there. Is that crazy? It's kind of dry. I'm not sure what kind of rock it is. It's got a little bit of a shine to it. It's not limestone. And they just keep coming. And this grass is all packed down in here. So animals have been coming in here. There's the animal hole. Speaking of that, right down in there. Hopefully he stays in there, whatever's in there. And this is a whole mess of rocks. Huh. We have little rocks and big rocks and ginormous rocks. Huh. Interesting. So our goal is to kind of come back through, and where we have like this, there's two trees growing on top of each other next to another tree, beautiful maples. There's a lot of maples coming up, which is great. Love maple. Not sure I'm gonna like the leaves when they're all on the ground. Here's an example. This tree is trying to grow, and there's a branch on it. So trees are resourceful. So the tree grew sideways, and then now it's going up, which is awesome. But now, like, I could sit on the trunk of this tree, which is no good. I have to cut it down and get the branches out of here. So our new trees that we'd like to make sure grow for the future. So in 60 years, we have some straight trees and not a bunch of sideways wonky trees that are going to blow down in the first thunderstorm. So in here, these are a little bit nicer, it looks like, but you can still see there's quite a few that are sideways, and there's branches down, and it's definitely job security in the forest cleanup nature here.